couple minutes. It's John Cass, Jake Hartford in for Bruce and Dan.
Breaking news around the clock. One station making history every day. Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
10:37, Jake Hartford with John Cass. I want to remind you that the 89 WS box office opens every Thursday, giving you a chance to win tickets to an upcoming show or event. This Thursday, listen all day for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Chris Isaak at the Chicago Theater on November 24th. For more info, go to WSAM.com. Last night, watching the Green Bay game against the Seattle Seahawks out in Seattle. Green Bay was a 3.5-point favorite, I believe. And it comes down to the last play of the game. And the referees, the replacement referees, blow two calls. One was the fact that the one Packer guy got knocked in the back and down, which is offensive pass interference, didn't get called.
Right.
And then two, when the ball was thrown into the end zone, last play of the game, it was actually intercepted by Green Bay. But credit went to the Seahawk receiver.
Golden Tate. Former Notre Damer, great player.
And after the game, he said, no, he had possession, as if you can believe anything somebody would say that went to Notre Dame.
I would.
I know you would. But there's a great picture.
And I take umbrage with this Notre Dame hate speech against Our Lady, okay? So knock it off.
Great picture in the end zone. Two different officials. One has his hands up in the air signaling touchdown. The other one has his hands up in the air signaling touchback because it was an interception.
And when have you not seen this? Is this just a function of, is this something new? We've never seen this before? Or is it because there's a strike and now we're of the NFL, so they're using replacement referees, and now we're saying, oh, if only we had the real referees, this wouldn't have happened.
No, not that it wouldn't happen. They make mistakes like everybody else, but there's a lot of mistakes being made. At the end of the 49er game on Sunday, playing the Vikings.
Correct.
They lost track of the number of timeouts that the 49ers had. There was Harbaugh called his last timeout. They gave it to him. Then he throws the challenge flag, where you can't challenge if you don't have any timeouts left.
It's kind of like Michigan in the Final Four.
And it turns out that the challenge was upheld, and they gave him a timeout back because the challenge was upheld, but he didn't have a timeout to begin with. And the Vikings went on to win that game, but if they had lost because of that, that'd be almost as bad as what happened with Green Bay last night.
That's why in Bridgeview over the weekend, the Chicago Fire won 2-1 over Columbus as they're fighting for the playoffs for first place, and there wasn't any problem with the referees.
How many of the people were sleeping and they didn't notice they made a mistake?
20,000 people screaming for the men in red, and that's how it is. Because in soccer, they don't make mistakes, only in football.
So it's a labor dispute. It's a lockout, and the reports are that they're about $150,000 apart per team per year. That's what we're fighting over. And the NFL is this big multi-billion-dollar industry.
Can you just get Las Vegas? How about if you get the bookies in Illinois to just come up with?
But they're affected.
I know it's illegal. Betting is not legal. But for some reason, the NFL puts out the injury report on Thursday so everyone could bet on Friday. Why don't the bookies just kick in for the referees? Let's go to Chinatown. I know there's a place in Chinatown.
Yeah, but see, Vegas is talking about there is an effect with the referees, with the lines are being affected. Some of these games are crazy, the way they're coming out. Penalties aren't being called. And I don't know why they couldn't settle this like the CSO did in a couple days. With Symphony Orchestra is back.
The flautists. Aren't you happy now that I know that the flautists will not be roaming the streets? Because you don't want a bunch of flautists running around without anything to do. Idle hands, devil's workshop.
And there's also a report this morning that 5 of the referees the NFL hired to be replacement refs didn't make the cut in the lingerie league. Okay, you folks think about what you'd have to do or not do not to make the cut in the lingerie league.
It might not be football related.
Mike downtown, you're on 89 WS, Mike.
John, I've been listening to sports stations and you guys all morning. You should be on a sports station because nobody's mentioned what you just said about that we would be complaining about the refs if this was a regular season with the referees. I mean, all last year I heard all these complaints that it was terrible and that games were being lost, referees were out of position, calls were being made on the opposite end of the field. You're exactly right. Here's the thing that nobody's mentioned. I mean, a cardinal sin, when it's the last play of the game like that and it's a Hail Mary play, you'd be mad at the guy that tried to intercept it because that's a cardinal sin. You don't intercept the ball, you knock it down. And
you
knock it. Mentioned that at all.
Mike, what do you do? What did your
Timeout in the Lion-Titans game Sunday when the Hail Mary pass was thrown up by the Lions quarterback, the Titan defender, instead of catching it, he knocked it down right into the arms of the Lions receiver. Touchdown.
Mike from downtown, you're right.
If you can catch the football,
you're wrong.
He did. You should have been able to knock it away for sure.
You're supposed to jump up, knock it through his hands into the ground. Isn't that what you're... Mike,
how about this?
My defensive back coach, Mike Webster, at Harold Richards High School, used to tell us to drive that ball through into the ground.
How about just making the right call?
You know what?
How about that?
I'm sick and tired of people. I'm totally with Mike here. If there weren't referees who couldn't get in because of the lingerie league, they looked at the girls funny? They weren't interested in the girls in lingerie? They couldn't make it? Fired for incompetence, what? In terms of lingerie football?
How many times this year have the referees not been able to put the ball on the right yard line?
These things happen.
It happened in the game the other day. The 15-yard difference where the ball was supposed to be. How do you screw that up?
I just don't know how you would hurt someone's feelings that way, Jake. They're trying.
I know. That's me. That's me. Just hurting feelings everywhere I go.
Let these poor referees make a living. What's wrong with them? They're doing a good job.
10:44, the very soft John Cass with me, Jake Hartford, right here in for Bruce and Dan on 89 WLS.
Thank you all very much, and I'm sorry for the idiot over there.
89 WLS.
Soccer moms are bad. Wait to hear about this baseball dad.
Rowan Roper afternoons, 2 to 6, 89 WLS.
And that's what we're doing tomorrow. How do they know? John Cass and Jake Hartford in for Bruce and Dan.
Yeah, Jake?
I start this morning with a guy on the expressway. I'm in the center lane going just the normal rate of speed, and this guy comes from the third lane, makes a right turn in front of me, literally a right turn to get to the first lane. And I hit the horn because I could have hit the guy.
Cutting you off.
And then because it's in traffic, I kind of catch up to him. I'm next to him. I just kind of look over. And he gives me the finger. And it was him.
The finger is one finger. The mutza is 4 fingers in the palm and the thumb. So when someone gives you the finger, you give them the mutza, it's better.
I just wanted
just go like this. Nah.
I wanted to give him the C for courtesy.
Say fisa edo, which means blow on this.
Speaking of blowing on this, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about the pufferfish story.
There's nothing like dying from pufferfish poison.
That's why I stay with fish sticks. That's why fish sticks are nothing. That's what I want to be sure. I don't trust my wife.
Maybe we could get the pufferfish toxin expert in.
Coming up in a few minutes, it's Rush Limbaugh at 11, and then at 2 o'clock, it's Roe and Roper. They will help you with your commute home or whatever you're doing between 2 and 6 right here on 89 WLS. And we'll be back in for Bruce and Dan. They're doing down in Roma for the foreseeable future right here on 89 WLS.